Hello folks, my name is Matt Peterson, Senior Trainer here at Pragmatic Works, and in this YouTube video we are continuing on our series on building your first application or maybe your second or third inside of Microsoft Teams. So we've been building this check-in application, and if you want to build it from beginning to end, take a look at the description below to see all the other videos that we've done to get us to this point. In this video I want to show you how we can use Power Automate using an automated flow to send out an email. And our use case is going to be sending out an email to the parent of the student who is checked in during their lunchtime to get lunch help, volunteering hours, or whatever the case might be. So without any further ado, let's see how we get this set up. Alright, so as we can see here, I'm going to go over here and pull up our application just to see what we're dealing with here. And so this is our student check-in application, and we know that up until this point we've worked on the ability to check in our students as well as check out our students, which is what we did in our very last video. So the next idea that we want to do, or that I want to do, is any time that I check in a student, whenever that record has been created, I want to now be able to send an email to the parent of that student. Now, in order to do that, we have to know a few things about our data makeup here. So I'm going to come on over. I'm going to hit back here to get to our build section and just take a look at the different tables that we have. So for our student check-in and checkout, in terms of our columns, one of the columns we have is our student column, which is a lookup to the student table. Now on my student table, if I go to its columns, one of the columns that we have in here is we have the email for the parent of the student. So when a student gets checked in, a record's going to be made on the check-in and checkout table. I then want to use that information to then pull in the student record to then send out the email to the parent. So in order to get this done, we're going to create a flow. So what I want to do here is I'm going to come up to my Cloudflow section here, and I'm going to say I want to make a new Cloudflow, and this is going to be automated. And the reason it's automated is because we are waiting for a certain condition or certain action to happen on our data source. So I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call it the parent check-in notification here. And then I'm going to search for a trigger, which I need to use Dataverse as the data source. So I'm just going to type in Dataverse and go right here when a row is added, modified, or deleted. At that point, I'm going to hit Create. Now, when setting up a Power Automate, you always have a trigger. Now, this trigger is called when a row is added, modified, or deleted. What I typically like to do is I like to rename these to give myself more context. So if I hit the three dots here and I hit a rename, I'm going to come over here and put a dash, and I'm going to put new check-in record created. Now you could also come over here and add yourself more notes if you want to add more context to the trigger itself. Now that I have that, I'm going to choose the type. I don't want to do it anytime it's created, updated, or deleted. I just am curious and only want to use when a new one is created. So I'm going to choose created, and then I choose what table I want to monitor, which is my student check-in and checkouts. And then I want this to apply to the entire organization. So I'm going to go Scope Organization. So that's my first step here. Now, this is going to collect all the data from that student check-in record. And what I want to utilize is the parent's email address. Well, the parent's email address is not located on this table. So I'm going to have to add in a new step here. I need to go get the record from the student table that has the parent email address. So again, I'm just going to search for Dataverse here. And what I want to do is I want to get a row by an ID. So I'm going to choose get a row by ID. And I'm going to rename this as well, returning student record. So what table do I want to do this on? Well, according to my little renaming convention here, I want to do this on the student table. So I'm going to choose students. Now I have to choose the row ID. So what I'm having here, this is called your dynamic content. Everything that was collected from this record I can now utilize. And I need to utilize my lookup column, which was my student column. And in order to get the graphic unique identifier for that record on the student table, we use what's called the student lookup column, but we want the value that has the GUID attached to it. So I'm going to choose student value here. So now that's going to return the student record. Now I can use information from the check-in record, and I'll be able to use information from the student record. I'm going to use all that information in my next step here, which is I want to send out an email. So I'm going to choose here, send an email. Now this could also be a Teams notification, but my use case is, my parents are not going to be inside a team, so an email would make the most sense here. So I'm going to choose send an email, and I'll rename this here, and I'm going to call this send check-in info to parent. So now on the to line, this is where I want to send it to the parent email address. So I'm not going to hard code the email address because it can be different for each student. So I'm going to come on over here and add my dynamic content. And what I'm looking for here is you can see that I now have two pieces of dynamic content, or two sections of dynamic content. Everything from the get row action and everything from the when a row is added action. Well, what I want is the parent email from the beginning of the student record. So I'm going to choose parent email. Now I'm going to choose what I want the subject to be. So basically just let them know their child has been checked in. So I'm going to use the first name and last name of the student record. So first name, space, last name. And then I'm going to put something like has checked in during lunch. Now when I come to the body, I'm going to code out the body of what I want it to say. Now I can make it look really nice by putting some styling here, but we just want to get to the basics, so I'm not going to do any kind of styling. So I'm simply going to say your child has checked in during their lunchtime. And can I spell it right? During their lunchtime on, and then I want to tell them what the date is, because maybe they read this email, it should send it fairly instantaneously, but sometimes it takes a few moments. So, I'm just going to return that check-in date and time here. So check-in date and time. And then I'm going to say what teacher they checked in with. So I'm going to choose my teacher column from when the check-in record was created. With teacher, and then I'm going to give them the reason why they've checked in. What comments did the teacher add to the check-in itself? And then I'm going to put that in here just like so. And then I'm going to put in a period. So now the email has been set up. I've gotten all the records I need. So I'm simply going to hit save here. So this is going to save all of my work. And then I want to test this out. So after it does the save, I'm going to come up here and click on test, which you don't have to do the test. It's always recommended to test first before you actually put it into production. So this kind of puts into hyperactivity mode where it's really monitoring for the next few moments that data source, so it kicks off as quickly as possible. So I'm going to choose test here. Now that I have the test going, I'm going to go back to my build section so I can get back to the application itself. So let me come over here to see all of my apps. I'm going to go to my student check-in app, and then I'm going to hit play. Now for these three students, we put in some sample emails earlier in one of our earlier videos, and one of them I did was for my son Jack. I put my email address in. So I'm going to make a check-in for Jack Peterson here. So I'm going to choose Jack Peterson, check-in date and time. I'm going to choose a room number, and then I'm going to put in comments, receiving help for quadratics upcoming test. And then I'm going to hit save. So this is going to save the record. This is our confirmation screen. So yep, everything is good. And then within a few moments, I will receive an email with the information of that check-in here. And it has already popped up here. So I'm going to bring it on over. And as we see, it says here, Jack Peterson has checked in during lunch. I should probably put an ED there, but your child has an ED there as well during their lunchtime on. The date I'm not too happy with. We'll fix that in a second. With Matt Peterson for receiving help for the quadratics upcoming test. Beautiful. But could we make it better? For sure. This date here I do not like. So what I'm going to do is take advantage of one of the new features in Power Automate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy out this date timestamp here. So let me copy out this whole date timestamp. And I'm going to go back to my flow itself. So I'm going to come back to my build section. I'm going to go to see all, I'm going to come back to that cloud flow, which is my parent check-in notification. And from here, it's going to give me the flow details. It'll have the 28-day run history. So it's going to say, hey, this ran, it was successful, great, but now I want to edit this flow. So I'm going to say I want to edit it inside of my designer. And the one thing that I want to do is I want to change how that date is currently being returned. Now there's a few ways to do this. One way is I can simply put in the actual expression language to format it the way I want. However, there's an easier way to do this now. So I'm going to remove this check-in date and time. Now when I go to on, what I want to do is I'm going to come over here to expression. And I want to format my data by giving it an example. So I'm going to do format data by examples here. And what do I want to format? Well, I want to format that check-in date and time. So it says, okay, what currently gets returned from the date that you're currently receiving from the outputs? And that's why I copied that out from my email earlier. This is what's currently being returned. Now I just type in how do I want it to be returned. So in this case, I would want this to be returned as maybe like July 6th of 2023. So I just put in what I want, and then once I give it my example, and again, you have to make sure your example output matches the actual data itself, I'm going to choose Get Expression. Now from here, it's going to generate the expression for me. So again, to get it explicitly said the way I wanted, I would have had to have written this formula here. Well, good news is I don't have to do that. It gave me the formula, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this out, but then I'm going to hit apply here. And this is going to apply it right inside of here. So why did I copy out that formula? Well, what I typically do anytime I write expressions in Power Automate, I will put that expression in the notes so that it's quick and easy to reference. Oop, I guess it did not copy out that actual formula here. Let me come back on over. I'm going to have to do that all over again. Well, typically, I guess it just didn't fill the copy out, but I would copy and paste that in. So that way, when I'm trying to reference that formula, I don't have to hover over it to see it. It's just easier to see it inside of the notes. So now that I have that, I'm going to save my flow again one more time here. So it's going to save it, and then I'm going to test it. Now here is one of the cool things about Power Automate. When you test in the designer here, if I go back to test, I don't have to manually make a new record because that's my trigger here. I can say use the data that was collected with one of my recently used triggers. I'm saying, hey, when I did this 3 minutes ago, just rerun that with the data that was collected and let's see what the new results are. So I'm going to choose test here, and then within a second I will receive another email, but this one will have a little bit different. So when I open this email up and I bring it on over, take a notice, now it's returning the way that I want the date to be returned, July 6th of 2023. So hopefully you've seen a little bit of what Power Automate can do with the Power application. This is just one example. I'm probably going to have a few more examples that I put in here inside of this series. But if you've been enjoying this series, make sure to like the video. Also subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all the things that we're doing. We host a lot of live events, like our Learn with the Nerds events. And again, hopefully this has been helpful for you. And if that's the case, then I will see you in the next episode.